Now the first slide is going to be the market share, which you are going to plug in, into your sheets, wherever it is possible, okay? And market share is always available, okay? So like, which company has what share and what they are manufacturing. Like, the company Ultratech, which is the top of the pack of cement companies, and which has a market share of close to about 23-24%, okay? And it manufactures OPC, that is ordinary Portland cement, which is, being used all of us for constructing your houses and everything, and PPC, okay? So again, this is a Portland cement, another variety of cement, and then RMC, ready-made concrete. Nowadays, what happens is that, we buy cement, we buy sand and make a concrete, isn't it? And then we make, a wall or whatever, or a house. But now there is a ready-made, concrete which is available, okay? Now the companies are providing that depending upon how much you require and what it's like, it saves time. Instead of, buying cement, buying, all the other things, sand and mixing and making a concrete, so you get ready-made concretes also, okay? So that is what also Ultratech is doing. Then white cement is basically for decorative purposes, tiles and everything. Then we have Birla White, strong presence in both urban and rural markets. So Ultra Cement has all the products, all kinds of cements which are required for, constructing a house or a building or for dam, bridges, like, these PPC and PSC are more for the industrial applications, okay? They are also Portland cement, but they have different variety, and they are all used for basically building your constructing activities. Then we have, Shri Cement, which has about 8 to 10% of the market share, predominantly OPC and PPC, stronghold in North and East India. So now Shri Cement is, not a pan-India player as compared to what Ultratech is, and it is present in North and East, okay? ACC and Ambuja, now it's become combined and owns by Adani. It has about 6 to 8% of the market share. Broad-based product mix, RMC, that means ready-made concrete, they are also doing bulk cement and packed solutions. Dalmia Bharat, 6% around OPC. Then, we have GK Cement, which is 3.5%, Ramco Cement, which is 2.3%, Birla, 2%. Then we have some India Cement, 2%. Okay, so these are the market shares of all the cement companies, and they constitute more than 50% what is there between. Then we talk about what is the growth outlook, how this industry is going to grow in future. Fine. Like, the globally, it is expected to grow in the vicinity of 4 to 5%. Global cement industry is going to grow at between 4 to 5, and it is presently about $500 billion. It's going to be $500 billion by 2030, and it's about $423 billion up to 2024. It's that much is the size of the of these companies in terms of turnover or production, whatever. And then India is about $20 billion, $20 to $26 billion in the vicinity, okay? And it will go up to $41 billion. So that means India is going to grow much faster than the world. The story is that if you look any of the things, you will find that India growth is better than the industrial growth, global growth, because India is a growing economy, too much of population, and we are going to grow much faster than the rest of the world. Okay, take any industry, you will find the same kind of a scenario, most of it. So India, this places India cement industry among the fastest growing major markets in the construction material sector. Okay, then we have the cost, what it requires to manufacture cement. Fine. So cement raw material is limestone. Okay, so limestone is the major raw material which is required for making cement, which is about like 1 or 2 rupees per kg cost of the cement. So if the total cost is basically around close to about 7 rupees for making one cement, 1 per kg, almost like 12 to 14%, which is the raw material. Not very big deal. Okay, then the power and fuel is 20%, 22%. So power and fuel, is one of the major chunk of the cost. Most of the companies are now, working out how to reduce, how to save the cost. Okay, so they are working on power and fuel, which I'll discuss a little later. Okay, what they are doing. Then we have freight and transportation. Okay, so the cement requires to be transported to the end user. Fine. It is manufactured all nook and corner of India. Please Sudhanshu. So that cost around almost 17 to 18% is freight cost. Because it's a bulky thing, it requires a cost of the cement includes the cost of transporting to the place of construction. Then we have employee admin cost, which is around roughly about 3 to 4%. This is the kind of an industry norm, like 3 to 5% or 3 to 6% maximum, depending upon companies like banks or insurance companies or IT companies, where the cost of employees is more compared to the manufacturing companies, because there the employees are the major people who are actually working and producing their products or services. So packaging is about 4 to 5% because it requires packing. The cement has to be packed. Okay, fine. Now in my life I have worked in a company which was making a packing material for cement also. Okay, and it was making paper bags. Okay, paper bags. So the cement was packed in paper bags. You don't find them still, but that was about 25 years back. They decided that world would move over to paper cement bags, and they were making very strong paper bags so that it can hold the cement. Okay, it was made up of long fibers, so it doesn't break because it's eco-friendly. But still, unfortunately, we have not moved towards, in last 25 to 30 years back, when I was almost like 25 years, I was working in a company which has forwarded into manufacturing cement bags made of paper. Okay, so it's still not, we have seen that as a great deal. But they were saying in Western world, in Europe, America, things are fast towards the paper bags. Okay. Then we have selling and distribution, depreciation, others. So total cost is around 7. Okay, so that is the cost. कहाँ जा रहे हैं? बैठ 2 मिनट बैठो. अभी मैं आपको देता हूँ. अभी आपको बोलूँगा फिर चले जाना. Just 5 minutes. Okay, let me just cover 1 or 2 and then you can go. Okay. Then we have, we will just cover this strategy. Okay. Fine. We will cover this strategy and then you can go for a water. So what has been the strategy of these companies? So most of the companies, they make strategies. How they are going to grow. How they are going to compete with the rest of the industry, how they are going to take a better position than what they are, how they are going to improve their market share. Okay, like when I was working in a company, please listen it carefully. When I was working in a company called SRF, so in this thing was to become the lowest cost producer in the world of the product which we are manufacturing, lowest cost producer, and become the number 1 in the world. Okay, in terms of cost parameters. And we became, okay, and we became the number 1 despite a lot of issues in India with regard to the cost and inefficiencies because of the government operations in many industries like power and fuel and all. We still became the lowest cost, and our product was of the highest quality. It was 6 Sigma quality of our product. Have you heard about 6 Sigma? किसी ने सुना है 6 Sigma? 6 Sigma सुना है? हाँ. What is 6 Sigma? Have you know that? Okay, so I'll just tell you, 6 Sigma means something to do with the quality. 6 Sigma means quality. If you are making a very good quality, okay, and making very less wastage, okay, that means if you make quality and they all pass through the test of quality and nothing gets rejected, okay, then we say either we are at 6 Sigma, 2 Sigma or 6 Sigma. Fine. So that means out of 10 lakhs production, whatever, it's kilograms or tons or whatever, you are manufacturing only 4 grams of waste. अगर आप 4 gram waste बनाते हो out of the 10 lakhs grams, so it is called 6 Sigma. Roughly, I mean, of course you can always go through and check. So there is a very less chances of waste. Everything which you are making, so that means if you are not producing waste, it is going to bring down your cost. Otherwise, the waste is going to waste and it is going to add up to the cost. Okay. So 6 Sigma production means you are making 4 articles of waste or rejects out of the 10 lakh articles which you have produced. Is that okay? So if you achieve that, you are called a 6 Sigma company. Now, our company, which was SRF, was a 4 Sigma company initially, and then we became 6 Sigma. So we transited to 6 Sigma, so that it becomes a very the processes become very efficient, the cost comes down, and we are able to compete in the world. Okay, so that's called Six Sigma. Six Sigma means what? 4 defects out of 10 lakh articles being produced. 4 डिफेक्ट आउट ऑफ, अगर आपने 10 लाख पेन बनाए उसमें सिर्फ 4 पेन ही खराब हैं. Is that okay? Have you got it? So now what these companies are doing, the first strategy, okay, capacity expansion and geographic diversification. So everybody wants to increase the capacity because India is going to grow at 8% per annum growth. Okay, so the capacity has to be built on to match the growth. And then the geographic expansion, that means the companies want to become more and more pan India present. Everywhere the cement is manufactured, because it will reduce the cost of transportation. If the cement is manufactured very near to your place, you would like to bring that good from that place, so the cost comes down. Okay, so that is the I'm not going to go into details, I'm just going to read the punchlines. And then cost, leadership and operational efficiency. So everybody wants to become, they want to become the cost leader. Okay, they want to become the cost leader, that they want to see that their cost comes to the cheapest, so that they can earn more money by producing at a lower cost and pass on the product at a cheaper price to the customer. Then operational efficiency, that means they are going to increase the operational efficiency, per person productivity, per machine, uptime, like when the machines are being used, they can't run all the time 100%. They have to run at a 98%, 95%, 90% capacity, whole year round, because sometimes some portion has to be run. The machines have to be, stopped for servicing. Okay, fine. So they adopt various mechanisms through which, like TQM, total quality management, or Six Sigma, ways of managing the company, so that you can increase the operational efficiency. Okay, then sustainability and low carbon. Before we go ahead, see the first line, this is very important. Heavy investment in energy efficient cleanse, waste heat recovery systems and alternate fuels and raw materials. So this is very important. When I was working in companies, we were in fact doing that. Okay, like we have DG sets which produce electricity, huge DC sets in our company, which was making electricity requirement for the whole company. So it is our company, which I was there, was also heavily dependent on the power. So we were making our own power by using big DG sets. Almost like 10 megawatt of power was produced by our DG sets. Now we were using diesel initially, and now also we are using diesel for firing the DG sets. अब electricity बनानी है आपको diesel use करनी पड़ेगी. Now when the diesels are being used, the diesel is burnt. Diesel is burnt, okay, and then the DG set starts working. So वो burn होके chimney से धुआं निकल जाता है. Have you seen that? The smoke is being emitted in the air, and lot of heat is generated, in the process. What the companies are doing, maybe at my time also, they were capturing that heat, okay, and reusing them and using it for running their boilers. That means all the steam which is required for producing certain things, so steam will be generated out of that waste heat. So they are called waste heat recovery boilers, which are being used by the fuel which is emitted by other instruments like DG sets. तो उसका जो DG set का instrument है, उसकी heat पकड़ गए और उसको use करके the company was running their boilers, okay, and which was generating hot water and steam. Okay, so that is called waste heat recovery systems. So about 30 years back when I was working, it was already started. Okay, then alternate fuels. So that means we can move on to more non-fossil fuels, like burning carbon. So everybody wants to move towards zero carbon. Okay, like nobody wants to use petroleum products. So let's move on to solar and other products for running our factories, so that it reduces. The company is able to ultimately, you want to become net zero carbon company. So that is the process. Okay, sustainability and low carbon transition, because we have given a commitment to the world bodies that we will become a not polluting country. Okay, India, because China is the major polluting country in the world, because it is producing with the world, followed by India. So India also wants to emit the carbons at the lowest possible. Then digitalization, and now everything is moving digital. Okay, So everything is moving on the systems rather than, you know, this thing. So we all know, and process को कैसे optimize करा जाए. Then product diversification. So everybody wants to diversify the product. Now, you know, we have the ready-made concrete. So people are coming with new ideas. You know, somebody came up with the idea कि सर हम जो है ready-made concrete बनाते हैं, because people are making those concrete when they are buying cement. So let's make the ready-made concrete and sell them, so that saves time and energy and cost. Okay, when the company makes in bulk, the cost comes down. When it is made on a site, the cost goes up because it is done on a very small basis. So somebody came with the idea of, you know, product diversification. Okay, fine. So ready-made mixed concrete. Then strong brand and distribution network. Fine. So you should have a strong brand. Everybody should recognize that, you know, when you talk about cement, you say Ultratech, because you see a lot of advertisement, you find, you know, a lot of positive stories about the company. So everybody wants to make their brand household brand. And then distribution network. Everything is available. You just make a call and, you know, somebody will say, okay, we are just around near to the place of your house or your factory and can deliver you fast. Like, you know, when you have a car breakdown, you find the nearest mechanic is very close by or he is ready to come and deliver the service at your doorstep, you find it is very good. Okay. Then, because everybody wants to, you know, grow up, then the few ones, the strategic M&A alliances, mergers, acquisitions, okay? Because everybody wants to grow faster, quicker, so the quickest route is through mergers and alliances. Rather than developing your own, factory, if you have made some, then others you can always, you know, like, you know, Adani has bought ACC. So they are growing by mergers and acquisitions.
वही सेम 7 कंपनियों के कार्टेल ही बने.
हाँ, बिल्कुल. So now we have the financial discipline, because everybody want to use less of debt, because debt is riskier, though it is cheaper, but more and more debt means the company become leveraged. So keeping debt under control while funding the capex, asset light models. Everybody want that we should, you know, spend less in the capex but produce more. Okay. So these are the strategies. Now you can go for the water and bring in fast, come fast. हाँ देखो आज तो बहुत आसान है. गो टू चैट जीपीटी
सर
आप राइट क्वेश्चन पूछोगे तो आपको दे देगा.
सर वो
उसको बोलो प्लीज शेयर द कॉस्ट शीट ऑफ अ सीमेंट कंपनी. जस्ट डू, आपको मिल जाएगा एक क्वेश्चन. आप उनको बोलो शेयर द कॉस्ट शीट ऑफ मेकिंग पर केजी ऑफ सीमेंट, तो वो आपको बता देगा.
अच्छा, मैं अपनी एक्सपेक्टेशंस पर मैं सोच रहा हूँ मैं रिग्रेशन में चलाऊँ और एग्जैक्ट प्रेडिक्ट कर दूँ कितनी ग्रोथ है कॉस्ट से.
हाँ वो ठीक है, लेकिन आप
बट होगा नहीं, सही नहीं देना चाहिए.
हाँ देखो ऐसा होता है कि अभी आप सिंपल तरीके से चलो. रिग्रेशन करना चाहते हो,
वो सब कर लूँगा, उसकी दिक्कत नहीं है.
हाँ.
बट ये कॉस्ट ब्रेकडाउन एग्जैक्ट हो.
एग्जैक्ट, ये तो सब चैट जीपीटी से मैंने लिया है. ओके फाइन. Now, is that okay? Any questions so far? Is it simple? Okay. Then we come to a very important, parameter. Please focus here. This is the most important thing what we are doing. You know, we have done a relative valuation like, P ratio, EV to EBITDA, EV to, this thing, and then PEG ratio and all. So there is yet another matrix which is called EV per ton. EV per ton, enterprise value per ton. Please focus here. There at the back, please. I don't want to hear anything from you, okay? Just listen. I'll ask questions from you. So what we are doing is EV per ton. I'll tell you how we have done. First, take the name of the company, all the company. So there are 5 companies. I've taken those. There are 7 in the pack. One is Grasim, which I have excluded. Then ACC is now become part of Amuja, so I have clubbed it. Okay, fine. So installed capacity. Go to, now how can you find the installed capacity? Go to the annual report which is available on the screener. Okay, and say that download the annual report and put it on a chat GPT and ask what is the annual capacity of this company. Okay, fine. So the annual capacity comes. For Ultratech, it is 152.7 metric tons per annum. Annual capacity. Okay. Then we have For Ambuja, it is 100 meters. So that means they have a capacity to produce 100 million tons. And Shree Cement, 50.9. Okay, fine. Is it okay? So then we have Shree Cement, JK Cement, and Dalmia Bharat. Which is the company which is having the highest capacity? There. Highest capacity किसकी कितनी है? तीनों में से फटाफट. Attack. And how much is that? Which company has the lowest capacity? Dalmia. Okay. Now what I have done is I have converted this capacity into metric tons by multiplying by this figure 1 crore. So ये figure आ गई आपकी metric ton. Okay, I have converted it into metric ton. Okay, like 1 metric ton per I mean this is metric ton. Okay, fine. So this comes to be the capacity per ton. Okay, fine. Then the enterprise value. Enterprise value I have taken from the cement industry. So आप ये चार्ट बनाओगे, okay? So there is enterprise value here, fine. So this figure I have plugged it here. Is that okay? Fine, through formulas. Is that okay? Now, so this is EV. Then I have done this divided by this. So this figure comes. So this is in crores, this is in up to the right this thing. So I have converted that by taking this figure 1 million. And it comes to EV per ton comes to 24,000. Okay. Enterprise value of Ultratech is the costliest company. Now, for example, if you want to buy mangoes, so mangoes are available in kilos. So somewhere the mangoes are available at 100 rupees a kilo, somewhere they are available of same variety 200. From where you are going to buy? 100, which is the cheapest. Now, now if they are of the same variety, remember that अगर वो same है तो आप सबसे सस्ता खरीदोगे. तो यहाँ देखो आप, ये अल्ट्राटेक जो है ये 24,844 रुपये पर टन इसकी प्राइसिंग हो रही है मार्केट में. इस टाइम इतने पे बिक रहा है बिकॉज एंटरप्राइज वैल्यू इज बेसिकली द मार्केट कैप, द वैल्यू द शेयर्स आर बीइंग सोल्ड. ओके fine. So this is available at 24, this is available at 17, this is available at 20. So which is the cheapest company in India today in terms of enterprise value per ton? Dalmia Bharat is cheapest. If you are looking to buy a company because of doing a merger and acquisition, if you want to acquire, suppose Ultratech wants to buy. So which company they are going to buy? Dalmia Bharat, because this is the cheapest. Or if you want to buy the shares of any company, then Dalmia Bharat is the cheapest available. Is that okay? If all are of the same variety and the future of the companies is same, okay, fine. Now, of course, it comes with a lot of riders. It's not that simple. I mean, I have produced it in a very simple manner that everything is okay, everything is same. So the Dalmia Bharat becomes the cheapest. Okay. So then we have to just go through, how old is the plant, new plant kya hai. Though it is cheaper, fine. But if the plant is coming to the nearest, to the end, so we have to again generate more capex. So aaj ki date mein Dalmia is the cheapest company in terms of EV per ton. Okay. Now, they got in two choices. We could have taken the production, we could have taken the sale. अगर हमने कैपेसिटी भी ले सकते थे, सेल भी ले सकते थे, बट अगर आप प्रोडक्शन देखोगे पानी लेने इतना देर लगती है, प्लीज बैठो, बहुत देर लगाते हैं. ओके, सो नाउ यू कुड हैव टेकन इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन इंस्टॉल्ड कैपेसिटी, यू कुड हैव टेकन द टोटल सेल ऑफ द कंपनी. बट कंपनी की अल्ट्राटेक इट इज रनिंग ऑन 70% कैपेसिटी. Dalmia Cement is running on say 30% capacity because the present utilization of capacity can distort the numbers. Okay, fine. So we look at the installed capacity. We look these numbers in terms of installed capacity rather than कि आज की डेट में एक्टिविटी क्या हो रही है उसको इग्नोर कर देते हैं. Fine. because that will, distort the numbers for company to company. We will not be able to find which company is better. आज अगर सपोज है कंपनी जब 6 महीने बंद रही तो वो तो सबसे सस्ती हो जाएगी वो सबसे महंगी हो जाएगी, ओके, या कुछ भी हो सकता है, तो हम उससे वो नहीं करना चाहते. ओके, व्हाई ईवी टर्न इज यूज्ड? It helps to compare companies across regions without being too distorted by short-term profit swings. भाई short-term कोई profitability या sales swings को वो वो कर देता है. हम जो है, now what I was telling you that we can make another metric which is called, just for your benefit you should have come early. So this is yet another way of looking, like we have the PE ratio, we have EV per turn. Okay. So we take what is the capacity of each company, what is the enterprise value of each company, and divide and calculate the EV per ton. Like I gave an example, if the mangoes are available at 100 somewhere and somewhere they are available at 200, you will buy at 100. So which is the cheapest here? 10,000 per ton, per metric ton of cement. So this is the cheapest company, okay, in terms of the enterprise value. Okay, is that okay? Now, I'll just extend this example. When I was working in a telecom company, okay, so I was working in a company called Birla Tata AT&T. Have you heard of that name? Birla Tata AT&T. It became Idea Cellular, now it is Vodafone Idea. Okay, so earlier it was owned by Birla, Tata's and AT&T of USA. They made a joint venture way back in 1995. Then now it is only Birlas which own, and Vodafone of UK which owns this company. Okay, so it has gone through a lot of transitions. Now that time these companies were growing to merger and acquisition route. Everybody wanted to expand their footprint, become a pan-India mobile player or a pan-world player. Like Bharti is present into South Africa, Sri Lanka and many countries, India, and it's an integrated player. And Idea Vodafone is just a pure mobile player. Okay, fine. And Bharti offers, Dish TV and so many things. Okay, like it has it's a totally a player which offers so many product profile, whereas Idea is just restricted to mobile telephony. Okay. Now at that time, because the companies were not making profits, they were only EBITDA positive, but net profit on losses. जितनी भी कंपनी थी, आज भी वही हालत है. After the this shake up in the telecom industry, most of the company are running into losses, except Reliance Jio, okay, or maybe Bharti. So the deals were done per subscriber. So enterprise value divided by the total number of subscribers you have. Okay. So that time I'm just giving you a hypothetical number. So Idea purchased another telecom company at 1,000 rupees per subscriber, enterprise value, another company, which is the cheapest. Okay. When we look at IT companies, it is per employee. Okay. यहाँ पर मैंने लिया टन लिया हुआ ना. अगर आप कोई IT कंपनी कंपेयर कर रहे होगे तो IT में क्या है, मेजर स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, एम्प्लॉइज है. So we will make enterprise value divided by employees. For banking companies also, what we will do? Per employee. For